Mother doesn't love you and your father doesn't respect you.
Oh, you know what? You're just like your mother. Nag, nag, nag.
Our question today, we keep arguing over the same issues. Why do we do this and how can we move on? This comes from Aaron and Justine in Huron, South Dakota.
That's very nice for them to send that in. But maybe that's Aaron.
Aaron.
Fun fact. Most people know that South Dakota is where you see Mount Rushmore. But Huron, South Dakota is where you can see the world's largest pheasant.
Interesting. You know how it is. You get mad about something, maybe anything, and then the fights start, okay? It's kind of like boxing. Ding, 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 ding. You never help with the dishes. They just sit in the dishwasher day after day, and you never empty that.
Well, you don't put away the laundry. It just sits in the basket and getting wrinkled.
Okay. Ding, 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 ding. Second round. All right. You don't even earn enough money to pay the bills.
Well, you never let me touch you anymore.
Ouch. That hurt. Ding, 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 ding. Next round. All right. Your mother doesn't love you and your father doesn't respect you.
Oh, you know what? You're just like your mother. Nag, nag, nag.
Whoa, that escalated.
That escalated really fast.
Pretty fast.
Wow.
Yes, yes. So if you're tired of never resolving your disagreements by having the same argument over and over again, I know how you feel because I have felt that way before. But you know what I found? I found I can learn to set aside and even resolve an argument if I do these three simple things. And
That's
they
good.
could work for you too.
Well, you know what? One of the things we can do is we can pay attention to the position we're in when we're having those arguments or disagreements. We shouldn't be facing each other. That's what most of you probably do anyways, is you face each other and you're arguing verbally, but it's almost like you're taking swings at each other and you have the problem right here in between you.
That's right.
What we need to do is sit shoulder to shoulder, side by side, and then work on the problem together. That way we are joined against the problem rather than allowing the problem to separate us.
I like that.
And another thing we can do also is if you are having trouble with the same argument over and over repeatedly again, and then when you're talking about that, then you get onto something else, and then another subject comes up, and then a third, a fourth, a fifth, or sixth, and you never get back to that original argument, so nothing's ever resolved. What you need to do is just get out a simple piece of paper. Draw a circle on the paper. Put the topic that you're working on in the middle of that page. And then if any other subjects come up, write them outside the circle. And you don't address those until this topic is resolved. And then you can either move on to the next topics, or you can set those aside and determine we're going to come back maybe in 2 hours or a day or whenever you're going to work on these other things also and get them resolved. But that way you get that initial topic resolved once and for all.
You stay on topic, you get things done.
Absolutely.
That's good. You know, when we were first married, what we did, because we didn't want to have marriages like we had before, we wanted to do better. And so what we decided to do early in our marriage is just write letters to each other because we didn't want to repeat what we were doing. And so I would, or Greg would, initiate a letter. We'd write it out, taking out all the emotion. Maybe we'd read it and rewrite it. We'd let it set, and we'd rewrite it again. And then we would give it to the other person. And when the other person got it, we kind of established these grand rules. When the other person got it, they had opportunity to read it, reread it, and then formulate an answer to that. And then they could write it out, let it set, take all the emotion out of it, distill it down to what we really wanted to talk about and what was concerning us. And that worked really well for us. In the early days, we were able to keep our emotion out of it, our anger out of it. You know, we didn't do blaming, all that kind of stuff. And so that worked for us.
Exactly, because if you say words that you regret, you can't unring a bell, right? So what we want to do is avoid those type of things. Exactly. And I want to say also, if neither of those work, then just argue naked. I'm telling you, if you both get naked and start having an argument, then you find other ways to maybe take care of it. Yeah, exactly. It's hard to argue naked, I'm going to tell you. But I want to ask you this. Where do you end up fighting most often? A lot of couples, they go into the bedroom maybe to avoid the children, and then that's where they have all their fights. And that's problematic because the bedroom should be where you go to get good rest and have fun together. Because if that becomes an area where you fight all the time, then it kind of gives you that bad feeling.
Yeah, exactly. You know, your brain kind of goes, oh, I know this room.
Yeah.
This is where we go to have arguments, because a lot of times that's where the most emotion comes up, is in the middle of those arguments. And your brain, you're getting ready for bed, and it goes, I don't think I'm not going to feel comfortable here.
Yes.
We're going to fight.
So we don't want that for you.
Somebody ends up on the couch sometimes.
In fact, what happens if you start an if you find that you're laying in bed at night and an argument arises, get up, get dressed, go find somewhere else in the house to work on it, whether it be in another room or maybe even the garage, or go out into the car, or somewhere else, because you want to protect the bedroom.
That's right. That's a really, really good point that you make there. You know, you're probably thinking that this is maybe a little too simple. It is simple, and you're right. But it's also simply effective, is the way I like to look at it. So just try it. I mean, I don't know all of you that are watching this, but I think you would agree that what you're doing now is probably not working for you.
Of course not. That's why you're watching this video.
Exactly. And doing just about anything that's positive, even a simple thing, really could make things better. And honestly, the only thing that would keep you from trying anything we offer to you is your sense of embarrassment or pride. So this is a really good place to remind you that if you're finding any kind of value in our videos, please just take a quick minute to like and subscribe. We'd really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Also, if you have a question you'd like us to answer, reply in the comments. Please add your names and where you live. Bottom line, when you boil it down, the reason any of us find it difficult to resolve fights is because we really have a forgiveness issue.
That's right. Which is a good segue to the next point you're going to make.
Yes, to ask you to join us for part 2 as we share how to forgive each other, why you should forgive each other, and what happens when you don't forgive each other. We're Debster and Greg on Marriage. We love y'all and we want the best for you, because when you have a good marriage,
your kids have a better life.